David Raziel.
And this is I'm Psychic.
I guess.
What is this podcast, David Raziel?
Apparently, anyone can be a psychic, and we're here to find out if that's true.
Doing all of the things that you're supposed to do to be a psychic. What are they? We're kind of still figuring it out.
But you're going to figure it out with us, and you're going to
Yeah.
join us on this journey to see our experiences in trying to figure it out.
This is a journey, and we're probably going to get some stuff wrong along the journey. So if we get some stuff wrong, please let us know. We want to learn and discover and figure out and be not idiots.
Yeah.
So please do let us know, and also be gentle with us if we are idiots. It happens. Overall, we want to always focus on learning and growing to the best of our ability. What we're going to be doing moving forward is we want to eventually have this be a weekly thing where we're talking about what we learned that week. But we've been doing this a little bit now, so we actually have to catch you guys up
To where we are.
to what we've learned so far and where we are.
Today, we're going to be talking about the past spookies, how we've dealt with supernatural things that have already happened in our lives, what we would change now, knowing what we know now, what we would change then. And then we're going to end it with a intuition test.
There was one more thing that I wanted to say. We're going to do a check-in every once in a while, where we're at, what's going on. Currently, it's not very interesting. I am meditating once a day for about 10 or 15 minutes just to get into the routine of it and quieting my mind, because my mind goes a million miles a minute. And David, what are you doing?
I don't really have much that I do, but I do try to cleanse my energies whenever I have dealt with or am around a lot of people / people with intense energies.
That's always good to do all the time.
Yes.
That's a great
That's
start.
about all I've been doing, really.
Okay.
So I'm going to be starting this journey doing more training on my psychic ability
As we go.
as we go.
For now, that's where we're at. And I'm sure as you guys leave suggestions, we'll start doing other stuff. Please leave suggestions on how you think psychic abilities are grown. So we'll do them, and we'll see if they're true or not, or if they work or not. So for today, the good stuff, the spooky stuff, the psychic stuff. What have we... Whomst? How? Why?
Let's see.
You have good ones.
You have good ones too.
Okay. We
First
teased
of
it
all-
a lot in the last episode, so I think we should start with you.
I was able to see stuff when I was little. See stuff is, I guess, arbitrary, but not like...
In the psychic world, you're what's called a clairvoyant and what is called a seer.
Yeah, so I would be able to see these things from the corner of my eye. I'm sure this happened to you once or twice. You see these like shadows flip by, or like the corner of your eye, you see a face or a hand or something like that.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
All right, I used to see that when I was little, and my parents chalked it up to something that was just like,
Oh,
oh, your imagination's running crazy. Yeah. However, these things I used to see eventually started getting worse, right?
Or
So,
what does worse mean? Does it mean like scarier, or does it mean like more obvious and less out of the corner of your eye?
both.
Okay.
So for the longest time, I thought I was schizophrenic.
Uh-huh.
I would see things, and people would be like, what are you talking about? I hear things that other people don't hear, or see things that other people don't see.
Yeah.
Because I would also hear them.
Oh, so clairaudience as well. Verbiage for psychic people.
And
You're like, voices. This is schizophrenia.
yeah, pretty much. But then there was an instance where I was sitting with someone, and
Oh, yeah,
we
you told me
both
about this.
saw the same thing.
Yes.
And that was when I knew, at the very
Well-
least, I wasn't totally crazy.
What was it?
So there's this, we're sitting on the couch,
Mm-hmm.
and I see this shadow figure in like a red polka dot dress run by,
In Fabulous, doing a fashion show.
doing the Minnie
Strutting
Mouse,
the runway, strut down the
goes
hallway.
from the left side of the room to the right side into the closet, right?
Of course, where all the fabulous clothes are.
Obviously.
Obviously.
This was my stepfather's sister, so I guess my step-aunt.
Step-aunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were watching a show, and then we both happened to see this thing. We both take a double look. Right? Oh, what was that? And my first reaction was, wait, you saw that too?
Yeah.
And her reaction was just like, yeah, I saw that. Wait, what did you see? You know, I was like, no. What did you see? Because I've seen stuff already, and I want to know what you saw. And she says, oh, I saw this thing in a red polka dot dress.
Oh, shit. Minnie Mouse.
And I was just like, ha-ha.
Oh, my God.
Ha-ha. Yeah. It's
It's Minnie Mouse.
it's like, you know,
Evil Minnie Mouse, here to kill you.
hope not. You know, Eureka, whatever God, it's finally.
Eureka.
Yeah, like it's not me, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
And
So it's not schizophrenia.
finally someone else saw something or saw.
You were religious growing up?
Yes, religious in a sense where it was all around me.
You were exposed to it.
I was exposed to it. Did I care about it? No. Was I like devout? No.
No.
I didn't give a crap.
As a small baby.
As a small young pubescent teen.
So I think we mentioned it in the last episode, but like just to clarify the timeline, small child, I don't
small
give a
child
fuck.
is preteen.
Preteen, I don't give a fuck. Teen,
Yeah. Teen.
I still don't really give a fuck, but a little bit. And then
About 15, 16 is when I
started giving a fuck and
a little
doing
bit more.
church.
Yeah, doing the church more. All my friends went to church, and I was just like, I want to hang out with them, so I guess I'll
that's
go
where
to
they're
church
at.
too.
Yeah.
But
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. But that's where I was for the majority of my preteen time because my friends were there.
Mm-hmm.
But was I devout? No, I wasn't really into it. Really, I just knew some of it, so that didn't really influence.
Okay, I know you have so many stories.
Yeah.
What's the best one?
That's tough.
What's the best one? Because we'll go off for like 2 or 3 hours.
Sure, that was just the start of it.
Yeah.
Right, that was like I used to see things, and then I saw this thing that was finally confirmed. That was the okay, I'm not crazy. I am seeing stuff.
Yeah.
But what about you? Like what?
You have so many.
I know. I don't
Okay,
know
but
what would be the best one though.
Think about it, and I'll let you know.
Okay, I think.
I
about
never
it.
really had spooky ooky experience. I never saw anything. I never had clairaudient moments as a kid. I never had any of those things happen. Now, I had like strange phenomenon around me that was like measurable in physical space.
Okay, let's go into that.
So like the house we grew up in, born in Florida, moved to Georgia, renter's house. That first house we were in, I was like 5. I don't know the story. My parents were like, they were Satanists. I've also heard it was a gay couple. So
Oh my
obviously
God.
there's demons there, you know. I know. I don't know the whole thing.
For those
but
who are listening, that was like what the hell
yeah,
face that I just gave.
Yeah, David was like not entertained, not amused. I don't know what happened or what the deal was, but there was something very odd in that house. I don't know for what reason. The most interesting thing to me as a small child that I remember was we lived on a very, very, very steep hill, and we had this very long hallway in the middle of the house, and we had like a whole bunch of pictures, and the pictures would always perfectly go the opposite direction of the very steep hill.
Oh, interesting.
Like exactly, like to the centimeter.
Right.
And my younger brother
We did a video about that.
Yeah, I've said this story in like we used to do it, so blah, but I mentioned this story briefly then. But my younger brother has severe autism, and he likes to line things up.
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought it was my younger brother, just
Being silly.
being a silly goose. And as I've learned later, my parents would see dark figures in their room at night. My mom said she saw something that looked like a frog. My dad said he had a wrestling match with a demon, he claims. What it is, I don't know, but they were getting physical. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened or what.
You don't know how it got went away?
No, I don't. I think we left.
We ended up leaving the house.
Not for that reason. They bought a house and we moved to a new place. But
Oh.
I don't think they ever got it like exercised or anything.
I
like
guess
that.
usually they would have to either exercise it or it would follow you, right?
Yeah.
So at least it didn't follow you guys.
Yeah.
I did it.
I
Bond.
accidentally summoned an entity of some kind in
The
next
radio
house.
demon.
The radio demon, yes.
Radio.
I don't want to be so liberal with the word demon because things we would change that we're going to get to later is terminology because
Yeah.
I know that that's not what it was. It was something that wasn't particularly fun.
Interesting. Back to what you were asking before. You said, what is my most interesting one? I don't know if it's the most interesting one, but it's definitely up there. Speaking of getting physical,
Yeah.
the entity, picked me up by my legs.
Yeah.
And it definitely swung my legs back and forth. I'm laying down, and this thing just like has my legs in the air.
Oh, wait, so you were sleeping, so this is sleep paralysis?
No, I wasn't
Where had you been asleep, or were you just laying
I
down?
was sleeping, and then I woke up because my legs are freaking swinging in the air. But
you're fully awake and you can move.
yeah, no, I
Okay.
can move. It's not sleep paralysis at all. I'm like groggy, like what the fuck is happening? My legs swinging left and right, and then I'm like, what the hell? And then it drops on the bed.
Wow.
Yeah, that was probably peak up there. There's been a lot of stuff, but
There's been a lot. That's a pretty intense one as far as physical
Yeah.
stuff is concerned. I think the one that got me the most for the one that you've told is when you were in the room and you
and
thought you heard your name getting called.
Yeah. That was
That's a
really
good one.
creepy. So there was a lot of activity in my house, and I was trying to bring it up to my family. Like, hey, there's some weird activity happening. It's being felt. I got scratches when I've taken a shower, that kind of stuff. Something got in like my sister's room, and I was just like, hey, Mom, there has been creepy stuff happening around the house. And she's like, whatever, you're just making it up. You're being imaginative. I'm like, I'm a whole older teen now. Let's not pretend like I'm 5. And then on my way into my room, I hear my name called, right? So I turn around and I'm like, hey, Mom, did you call me? She's like, no, nobody, not my sister, not my stepdad, no one called me. So I'm, ask everybody, no one called me? They're like, no one called you. And I was like, oh, okay, so I'm just hearing things.
So wait, you went into your room quietly.
Yeah. I was like, so no one called me. Cool. I thought they were kind of messing with me.
So I want to clarify that you were not allowed around them anymore. And you went alone to your room and closed the door?
Yeah. So I go into my room.
That's an important detail.
I closed the door and I'm like, I guess I was being sassy because I was, teen. And I was just like, so I guess I'm just hearing things then. And the voice right next to my ear goes, maybe.
That's so fucking creepy. I hate that so much.
Whoa, what the fuck?
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I never had anything like that happen either. There was a time that I invited something into my house. We've like talked about these things if you're an OG follower of ours on previous media that we've produced. David has even more than we've talked about, but
yeah.
The movie White Noise from like 2004, like the very subpar horror movie.
Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, oh, you can talk to ghosts through white noise? I want to do that.
That's like the whitest thing you've ever done.
I know.
It's like, I want to do that. Let's do that. Oh
I was the stupid white bitch. That was me. Hi.
Let's get a Ouija board.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Let's get a Ouija board and just talk to it.
I didn't do that.
That's like one step away.
It is one step away, if we're being honest.
That's funny.
And we didn't hear anything. It was me and my friend were sleeping over, and then we heard like...
Oh, so you did hear some stuff.
We're in the radio. It's in which it's like, that's weird. And I was like, I'm done. I don't like it. But my friend was just like, no, I want to know.
Oh, she went the extra white mile.
She went the extra white mile. 100%. And we started talking to it. She's like, did you die in a car crash? And it was like, yes. And it was like basically Ghost Box, but OG style.
That's so funny. So you had like the what? Very, I don't know, acoustic version of fucking... What's that? Spirit box?
Spirit box, yeah. Acoustic spirit box.
Even though it's the same thing.
The spirit box goes over many channels. This was just like every channel before it and after it was white noise. Anyway, it scared me and I was like, turn it off. And so we turned it off. We decompressed, watched something silly and went to bed. And then I'm sleeping. And the radio turns on, and it's white noise, but it's not just white noise. It's like...
Oh, the ghost was eating cereal.
Yeah.
Like grossly, without just like, without a spoon.
Tongue out.
Yeah, just without a spoon, it was just like bowl cereal. It's like...
Yeah, like Cookie Monster, eating a bowl of cookies and some milk. Yeah. And I looked at the time. I was 14, and the internet was a thing, but like the 3 a.m. wasn't very common.
Yeah.
It was 3 a.m. And I was like, I hate this so much.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to move. I was petrified. I like made my friend get up because it was her fault.
Yeah, she's the one who
She's the one who brought this here. So I was like, turn it off. Yo, it wouldn't turn off.
It wouldn't turn off?
Nope.
What'd you do?
Like, okay, so she went to turn it off. Click. Got back in bed. Less than 30 seconds went by, and it came back on louder.
Did you break it?
I took out the batteries, and we put it outside of the room.
Like just outside your door?
Yeah. Like,
you sit outside.
Yeah. And that radio was fucked ever since then. I tried to use it again. And
why?
Because this was 2004, okay? There were no electronics to listen to music with except for my shitty fucking Walkman. Or my, like, ratchet CD player. Okay, so, like, I didn't have MP3s and shit.
You had a CD player?
I had a little portable CD player.
That's nice.
Point being, this was an expensive fucking radio.
Right.
I'm not going to get another one, so let me listen to my radio, and every single station on AM and FM were all that sound.
Damn.
And then
you
I was
broke your radio. So it's in my house now.
Yeah, and I was like, it's okay, I can listen to CDs. No. Every CD played backwards.
You played backwards?
Every CD played backwards.
Damn.
Every single one.
Had like a moonwalking ghost.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. Anyway, so I put it outside, didn't say anything to anybody. My parents start having weird shit happening, and they start talking about it at the dinner table, and I'm just like,
They're like, have
so
you
weird.
noticed the random demons in the house?
Have you like my mom's like AOL chat, like while nobody was home, just like turned on the computer and signed in. And my dad was like, what the fuck, did somebody break into our house? My mom was like, yeah, I was in my van and I saw like a small child jumping up and down and then it disappeared. And my dad was like, yeah, I saw this black figure in the hallway towards Crystal's room. And I was like, sorry, yeah, that's so weird.
Saw this shadow figure just kind of hanging around. Everybody noticed the shadows hanging around
so
recently.
weird.
That's so random.
Yeah.
Started happening since yesterday.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you get rid of it or
My
like...
nana, they called my nana who lived in Florida. We were in
Okay. So question now.
Yeah.
Now that you know what you know,
Yeah.
how would you go back and handle that?
I wouldn't do that.
Okay, but you've already done the radio thing, okay?
Okay.
You've already done the radio thing.
And then I learned, like, I'll do the radio thing, and then I have since learned.
And then you jump into your now mind.
Oh, okay.
It's like, download all the things you've just learned. The demon came back. The demon came back. Oh, my God.
Fuck. I had a burp. Sorry.
No, but we're good.
I'd cleanse and protect my space. I'd get probably some frankincense, and this is less psychic 101, more just energy clearing and like stuff I've learned from my magical pursuits.
Fun stuff. Little note. Energy clearing and energy in general, energy work has a lot to do with psychic stuff.
It does.
So
It does.
It tracks.
It tracks. You're not
On
wrong.
a technicality, it tracks.
TBH, I would like cleanse with all of the elements, fire, air, water, earth, all of that stuff. By doing that, you get frankincense, which you light it on fire, cleanse it with the fire, blow it out, use frankincense, incense for that. Bonus points, frankincense and myrrh, maybe, if we're getting crazy. Get some Florida water.
Even though we're kind of explaining this to the parents, like, I'm just wanting some cool scents.
Yeah, it's like, I just want some cool scents. This water smells so good.
Gosh.
And it's only really cheap. So
Myrrh.
maybe
Murder. Love that.
Judas, no.
Love that for us.
I do too. Yeah, so I'd probably get some Florida water, program that shit, spray it, cleanse that shit with water in all of the four corners of the house. So like this north, south, east, west, and do all of those different elements. And for the earth, I would then take probably an onyx or a black tourmaline and program them and put them in each of the things, all while being like, get the fuck out. You're not welcome here.
Man.
Because I said so.
I guess in retrospect, as a kid, you can't buy stuff, so you kind of just like fucked. You're like, hey mom, you got any tourmaline? Got any fucking frankincense hanging around?
That is like in the broom closet hardcore. Like, hey mom, can we go to the crystal store? I really want some pretty rocks.
That's the reason
I know
why.
we're at Walgreens and this water is very strange, mother, but it looks very pretty and shiny.
Why is it slightly green?
Can I buy this slightly green water? Also, get the radio and put it out. So, like, whatever the thing is that you summoned it with is kind of like a portal. Get it out of the house.
We don't break it.
No.
We don't break it.
We don't break it.
Why don't we break it, Crystal?
Because recently learned that spirit energy does not attach to items.
Oh, really?
It can be connected to items. That is from the light seer chemo. He talks about that recently. There is connection and then there is attachment, and they're two very different things.
Sure. I am connected to you. I am not attached to you.
Sure.
Literally.
Yeah. So from my loose understanding, that can become like an entry point, like a portal entry point connected to whatever it is. So you'd want to get it out of your house.
Okay.
And ideally, I would bury it on a Saturday
during
during Saturn hour.
I would be fucking pissed if I was like, all right, I'm going to go through this portal, a.k.a. my door, and I'm just like in dirt.
Yeah.
I would just be like, who moved my door?
No. So the answer is don't do that in the first place.
What would I do?
What would you do differently? Test. This is pop quiz. What do you do? How do you fix it?
You know, I don't know how strong this thing was, or I guess it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter.
I probably had Florida water somewhere.
You did.
In the house.
I remember. I saw it at your house.
Definitely cleansed the house as well. I think it was originally in my room, though.
It was in your room.
So I would definitely cleanse my room with some water, some oil, some smells.
Mm-hmm. You have an easier access to those things as a teenager, though.
That is true. My family had those things on tap.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were for, but they definitely had them on tap.
That's because your grandma. It's because of your grandma, and they just didn't ask questions. Because your grandma was about that life, but they weren't.
Right.
But grandma always had it around, so we always have it around.
That's right. And it's just the smells we grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll cleanse the space. Definitely shield myself.
Mm-hmm. How does one do that?
So here's
Spark notes.
Spark notes. Here's the wrong way and here's the right way. I tried to do this because I was like, what?
God, yeah.
You remember?
I forgot about you told me about this.
So I had a friend who was a little bit knowledgeable about this kind of stuff back then. And I didn't really know them that well, but they were like, hey, why don't you do a spell to like, totally block yourself from seeing these things.
I love how they said that and gave you no context.
Yeah.
No other guidance. Just, you should do this. And you're like,
Okay, let me go online and find out what it is. Oh, look, a spell. Here, let me just carve some corners out. Don't know what this is about, but I got a dagger. Gonna do that.
I had an athame and everything.
I had an athame and everything, but the athame was probably just a kitchen knife. The shit was, though.
What?
She didn't tell me a spell or anything. I just found that spell. No. Yeah. So I just did the
did.
spell.
That's like 101.
Yeah. Find
Don't
an online.
do that.
Find an online spell and totally do it.
If you don't know, online sigils, online spells, don't fucking do them unless you know how to do the research to figure out what that actually was. If you're just blindly accepting something from somebody online, don't fucking do that.
Yeah. So the spell, I did it, which is just like carving and doing a whole circle thing. And also, it got so much worse.
Yeah, because the issue is, if you guys want to know more about this, let me know. Maybe we'll do an episode on it, because it's not psychic, but it's occultish, magic-y stuff.
Which we're also into.
We're also very much into. They're related. Is that you're supposed to protection first. So you should have just shielded yourself, not done a spell.
Yeah, I didn't know
So what
this.
you did, you just did a spell raw. So like what that does is in I guess the other realms that are in 3D, other dimensions.
They were just like, oh, look, a thing.
You're pretty much just lighting yourself up.
Which is what happened, right?
And you create this huge bright beacon, and that's why protections are so important when you're doing those things, because it creates this barrier where nothing can see this huge light that you're turning on, so you can get shit done in the
When I tell you that
world.
Everything came.
Oh,
it got so much worse after that.
So
much worse. So what I would do now, another quick,
Yeah.
is definitely shield first, and then just I have control of my space. Don't need to do the spell.
Yeah,
Totally
you really
just
didn't.
get rid of everything from my space.
Like, you're not allowed in my space.
And that's it.
Yep.
That's what I would have did to make it better. And that would have worked.
And if you're listening and you're like, I like Jesus and that's all you have to do, that is totally cool and valid, and that's worked for me for many, many years, and it does still work, because if you think that it gives you authority over your space, then it does. So that's
essentially
why
it's the same.
It is the same thing. That's why the name of Jesus works for some people and other people it does jack fucking shit, is because those other people that doesn't work for are just like, one, I don't believe this. I think it's hogwash. Two, I've been traumatized by it and I don't like it. So they actually feel more vulnerable doing that,
and that's
which does not help their space.
That's not to undermine the name of Jesus or anything
that's
like
totally
that. That's
valid. If that works for you, keep doing that, because you're taking authority over your space with this other thing and you're telling it to go. So it works just fine. If that works for you, that's fine. But
for those it does not work for.
There are other ways to. It is all about the authority over your space, not about the words that you say.
It's similar to believing, right? Believing in Jesus, believing that it actually works. If you don't believe that it works, then it will not work.
Yes.
But that is also, take that and go away from Christianity right now. If you believe that you have command over your space, that also works.
Yes, then you do. I have a question. We're going to do an intuition test really quick.
Excuse me, sorry.
But we just said so many things that sound so arbitrary, and we're like talking about magic and stuff, and
Sure.
We're talking about basics, but that's a lot of hearsay if we want to approach psychic stuff or like mystical stuff with a skeptical lens. That sounds like kind of insane, everything that we just said.
Sure it does. But this is not the scientific portion of it yet.
We're just talking about past experiences.
We're talking about past experiences and what we've come to understand through them. But there is science stuff that comes behind it, and we're going to get into that, I think, in the next episode.
We'll talk about our psychic experiences rather than just seeing spooky stuff. We've had psychic evidential moments happen, and also what the explanation we think so far with our current level of knowledge to what all this was all about.
Right. It's broken down by a lot of different things that we've read to kind of help explain on a scientific level why.
There are scientific elements to it, but it is also a lot of theories, and it is unproven theories that make logical sense, but we don't have a way to measure.
Right.
And I think that's important to note, because doing something with a critical eye and a critical thought and not just blindly accepting everything that you hear, I think that's really important. So I would like to acknowledge that sounds wild, but it worked. Now, did it work because energetically and scientifically that's how it works, or did it work because of spicy psychology, or both? That is what's interesting, and that's what this show is about.
Yep.
Because even if it wasn't real, if it worked for the brain, then that is super interesting and valid. And what does that say about our brains and how they function? I think these experiences shouldn't be discounted just because they're not measurable right now. The human mind is a science in and of itself, and I think that's super fascinating. Do an intuition test before to wrap things up.
Let's wrap it up with an intuition test, yeah.
Where are we with our skills? We do a quick intuition test.
We're going to be doing intuition tests, hopefully, like at the end of every episode, just to see if we can further develop them.
Or also just as like a landmark, where are we at? Okay, so do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. Okay,
close your eyes. I have a box of trinkets, so he can't know what I'm picking.
All right. I don't know what's in the box.
He has no idea what's in my box.
I don't.
Truthfully, I don't even really know what's in my box. This is just like my odds and ends.
There's a sexual joke there.
Keep those eyes closed.
They're closed.
I want you to tell me what is in my hand.
Without touching your hand or anything?
You can touch my hand. My hand is currently out and it is holding the thing securely. So you can touch my hand if you want, but try to open yourself, take deep breaths, ground yourself.
Okay.
And look for information from all of your senses. If you see something, hear something, smell something, feel something, whatever.
Feels cool. It's round. It's black. It's onyx.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's a key.
Oh.
You got so many aspects of this correct. Cool, because it's metal. It's black. It's a black key. It's round. There's a round thing on it. I'm really impressed. You got what the actual object was incorrect, but there's so many aspects of what this is that is correct. I'm impressed.
I thought it was a stone. Your turn. You know what's in there, though.
There's a lot of stuff. You have things to pick from.
I didn't even know there was a key in there. All right, close your eyes.
Okay, I'm looking the other way.
Okay.
So you have it picked?
I have picked.
Okay, I meditated today, and I'm hoping that this doesn't go absolutely to shit. It might. Just for the record. Pyrite?
Cleanse your energy if you're doubting yourself.
Round. A rock. I'm getting rock. Or orange? It's definitely rounder. It's not an intense energy. Oh, I'm so doubtful. What is it? I don't know.
It's the same key.
No! Fuck. At least you got it right.
I didn't get it right. I thought it was a rock, too.
I absolutely screwed the pooch on this one. Tricksy little bastard.
I know. But it does have orange on it, by the way.
Round and orange.
It does have orange on it. I'm not even making it.
There's rust. There's orange rust on it. I got round and orange. Fuck.
We both said rock. We're both fucking wrong, so there you go.
We got some aspects correct.
Yeah, that was fun. We're going to be doing that more often. What did you guys think it was? I know, you don't get to feel the hand.
So mad.
Don't be mad. That's not the point. The point is just to try.
I want to be good at this. I want to be good at this.
If it's real, we'll find out. All right.
Okay. We upload this podcast every week.
Every week.
Follow us for updates anywhere online at...
I'm Psychic, I guess.
You can follow us and our daily journeys on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever, at I'm Psychic, I guess. And we upload daily there with our journeys and experiences and what's happening that day.
You can see the daily psychic stuff that we try to do.
And engage with us and ask us questions and leave suggestions and blah, blah, blah.
So I'll see you there.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.